Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of The World's Finest. And because these reviews are a bit late this week, because our comics came a bit late, we're trying to group as many books as we can in each video. So in this video, last video we talked about conclusions from the Secret War miniseries. This video we're going to talk about some of the number ones out of the all new, all different Marvel. And we got three, one digital, two physical. We've got Uncanny Avengers issue number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 1, and Spider-Man 2099 issue number 1. So, let's start with the digital book. Uncanny Avengers issue number 1, volume 2. Now, originally, the Uncanny Avengers, as Mike's showing you guys some awesome Ryan Stegman artwork, Uncanny Avengers originally was brought together to bring X-Men and Avengers onto one specific team. That was the goal. This time around, it's mutants and Avengers working together, but now the main antagonist in this book is an Inhuman, and the prologue involves the Terrigen Mist and how one person, this guy was changed. He was dying from cancer, and the Terrigen Mist hit him. I love how Inhumans are taking a huge spotlight, obviously for the movies and everything else that's going on. But anyway, and this guy has now the ability to heal, and he feels that the world is dying. So he kind of becomes proactive to save the world, and I guess that's what kind of drives him into the way he is in the present. We jump into the present. Deadpool's now part of the Avengers. They're fighting this Adaptoid, and Deadpool recklessly has the Adaptoid copy his body, and the good news is it copied the cancer he had. The bad news was it could have copied the healing factor he had and became basically unstoppable. Spider-Man can't stand Deadpool, so much so that he actually tells Steve that he can't deal with Deadpool being on the team, so he kind of leaves. So I love how on the cover they have Spider-Man, but he ends up quitting the team. So he quits because he can't deal with Deadpool, and Johnny and him have a conversation, and Johnny's like, you know, with Ben out in space, and Sue and Reed gone. Now, what gone means, obviously we're not gonna know for a while. I mean, it could mean gone as in they're off planet, gone as in they're dead, gone as in they're somewhere out there in the multiverse. Beside the point, they're gone. So he was hoping that both of them could serve in their memory. Pete says, we're just not on the same team doing it, and not to worry that Deadpool, you know, there'll be weird stuff going on with Deadpool so you can make friends with Deadpool. Do I think Spider-Man's gone permanent? I don't think so. I think eventually he'll come back. Rogue also doesn't like Deadpool being on the team. That she doesn't really care for him too much. But Steve tries to convince her, give him a chance, and she says, okay, whatever. And it's really just reintroducing the team, or the new team. Quicksilver's on a day off, but you see he's dating like multiple women at the same time. Except for this girl, Emily, who's part of the Uncanny Avengers. She's an Inhuman as well. She kind of convulses, and then she's like, we got to go to Boston. They go to Boston for some reason, and it turns out that, I believe it's the guy from the beginning of the issue, from the epilogue, or the prologue. This guy is, there's these dogs and this overgrowth going on, and they believe it's Inhuman connected, and the guy called the Shredded Man is going to be the next antagonist for the Uncanny Avengers. So they're fighting to save the people and to stop this Inhuman. I believe it's the guy from the beginning of the book. All in all, it was an okay first issue. One of my, obviously, I enjoyed all three of these books, but definitely my number 3 of 3. These two fight for the number 1 spot. Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 1 opens up with Ben Grimm joining the Guardians. He's actually out in space, and then he gets attacked by the Chitauri. But the good news is the Guardians are there to rescue him. Let's put it that way. And Kitty Pryde has taken on the title of Star-Lord. And where is Peter? Well, Peter took on the role as Prince of Spartax, and he can't stand it. He hates every ever-living moment of it, but he's stuck. He wants to leave, but he can't. And I love there's this one scene where they have this thing, and they don't know what it is. They took it from the Chitauri, and they're debating about it, and they're fighting about it, and then Kitty's like, there is one place we could take it to, get it looked at. And this is the best page in the book where she doesn't even say anything. And he's like, no, no, no. And then they end up going to Spartax anyway. And you can see that there's still some tension between Kitty Pryde and Peter Quill. You can see it. There's just this, I don't know, something's going on between them. And then we get a really unexpected reunion by the end of this book, and the new antagonist. The next cover looks really weird, though, I will say that. But I'm glad they're keeping Peter in the book. This is a really great first issue. I love the Thing joining. He's like, in the beginning of the issue, you get, this is what I wanted to be. I've always wanted to do this. I had a Fantastic Four detour. Now I'm finally in space, so Ben's kind of happy that he's finally doing what he's always wanted to do. You've got the original Guardians. You've got Kitty Pryde working with the Guardians as the new Star-Lord, while the original Star-Lord is dealing with being the Prince of Spartax. And will this last? I doubt it. I give it a year at most, and then Peter Quill is going to come back as Star-Lord. There is no way. And I love Rocket. How can you not love Rocket? I don't love him enough to read Rocket and Groot, but I love him in the Guardians of the Galaxy book. And finally, Spider-Man 2099, issue number 1. Even though in this issue, Miguel doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. He says, look, you've got Miles, you've got Spider-Woman, you've got a bunch of other people. You don't need me. There's no reason for it. I'll work. He quit Alchemax to work for Parker Industries. And there's a really funny opening segment with him taking on a gladiator challenge, which I thought that was awesome. But that's about it. He works for Peter, and he's trying to fix his past, because apparently the past is destroyed. Where was it? I like how in the background you see the FF, the Iron Spider, and the New Day costume, and then you see the new 2099 costume in the background, and Pete's like, I redid your costume, it's kind of a composite of all of mine, and he's like, thanks, you could give it to Miles or somebody else, I'm not interested. I'm not that anymore. So then we get to see him. Actually, I will spoil this, so spoiler alert here for any fans of 2099 from Secret Wars. Roberta actually shows up in this book, the 2099 Captain America, and she's the assistant to another person's assistant in Parker Industries. So it's going to be really interesting. I don't know if she's going to have memories of working for, because she kind of questioned, do we know each other, Miguel? And he's like, nope, I've never seen you before in my life. I'm wondering if she's carrying over memories from Battle World, and she still is Captain America, if the right words are said. And I'm wondering, because her husband's in this, I'm wondering if he has control over that as well. Obviously, 2099 is still screwed, so Miguel is trying to figure out what exactly was done so that he could prevent it and fix 2099. You've got Alchemax still trying to work on something, and you got, like I said, Roberta's husband who's working with them. And we also find out that Miguel is dating, oh shoot, I forget her name. The girl that he saved her life in the previous volume. Tempest. However, the end of the book, I think this is what's going to force Miguel out of not being Spider-Man. I'm not going to spoil that, though. I'm going to save that for the next issue. Between Guardians of the Galaxy and Spidey 2099, I could not tell you which was my #1 favorite because I loved both. So while I did have 3 places and Uncanny Avengers was 3rd, I couldn't tell you which one I would put in 1st or 2nd. So both of these books get a 1st and 2nd place. I love them. As much as I'm enjoying being back into the Avenger books, I'm loving these 2 books the most because I love 2099 and Guardians of the Galaxy just kept up the steam, which I was worried about, and I'm glad to say it kept it. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. Let me know what you thought of these #1s in the comments below. Did you like them all? Did you hate them all? What are your thoughts on any of them individually? I thought they were all awesome for what they were worth, but these 2, especially Spidey and Guardians, were the best of the 3. I loved them. I really, this was a really great week for the #1s, and I'm glad Marvel, this time around, unlike the Marvel Now or the what was the next one? All different, all new Marvel Now. I'm glad this time around the number ones are really promising, unlike the other two attempts. And now it's just Marvel. Even though it's all new, all different, it's literally the bars are gone. There's no more bull crap with the bars. It's just straight up Marvel again. And I like that. I'm really happy with that. So with that, that's it for this review, guys. Feel free to let me know what you thought of these books in the comments below. Like I said, take care. A bunch of links in the description connected to stuff right here on Dark Avengers C86, Comic Frontline, Zone 4 Podcast, Frontline Gaming Zone. Together we are trying to give you as much content as we can each and every day. So till then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video.